What is up, investors, and welcome back to the Everything Crypto Show, where we bring you the latest and most important news moving the crypto markets, DeFi tutorials on how you can earn some juicy yield and optimize your crypto holdings, as well as deep dives on projects we see as having huge potential for the future. Now, as always, please remember that I am not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice, rather my own thoughts, opinions, and research that I have compiled and broken down for viewer education and entertainment purposes only. I want to see this community thrive over the long term, so please invest responsibly, and I love and appreciate you all. And on that note, if you enjoy the content on this channel, consider hitting that sub and like button. It costs you guys nothing, and it does mean a whole lot to me. Also, if you do want to keep up the speed with the moves that we are making in the market in real time, then definitely go ahead and follow us on Twitter and join the Telegram channel. Both links will be in the description down below. Also, make sure you join this giveaway on our Twitter right now. We are celebrating 12.5K subs on YouTube, and I have partnered up with Cronos name service to give away 10 free Cronos domains. So if you do want a shot at claiming your Cronos identity completely for free, then just follow all these steps below and you will have a shot in the giveaway. Now, we're going to talk about Cronos here, as it has pretty much overnight shot up into third place of all blockchains. We're going to talk about exactly what happened and is this a legit move. But first, we're going to give you guys a bit of an update on the overall market, as we have not done so in a while, and I've definitely have been switching up my strategy as we are in an official bear market. So for starters, we can see that the fear and greed index is coming in at a 12. People are very, very scared right now. I mean, the lowest we've been on the fear and greed index is a 5, but we have been range bound here between this like 9 to 13. This has generally been a pretty good area to buy. However, in this scenario, I actually do think that we're going to be stuck in this state of fear for much longer than anywhere else on this chart. So this fear and greed index wasn't started until really like after the first bull run had already ended. But you can see here that in March 2020, we were really in this state of fear for about a month. I predict that we will be here much longer this time, maybe a couple of months. But as we can see, whenever the fear and greed index gets this low, I mean, it can't go to zero. It can't go into the negatives. So eventually the greed does come back into the market. I just think it will take a while. And now taking a look at the total crypto market cap as a whole, I'm going to bring you guys over to the daily here. And what you can see is that we have officially broken below this 1.2 trillion level of support. We are currently sitting at 1.17. So I would not be surprised to actually see us go back to test this 1 trillion level. We did have these two boxes here perfectly that showed basically the rise of Bitcoin and the fall right back down to the trend line. However, we were remaining in an uptrend really until we broke this box right here and broke below this uptrend that we did start from the beginning of the previous bull run. And since then, we have really been cautioning against a bear market. We have been looking for it. And if you guys have been with the channel, you know that around January is when we'd actually drew these boxes in here saying that Bitcoin could fall a very decent amount, like over 50%. And the same thing with Ethereum. Ethereum has actually already completed this move that we did draw out in this box as of early January, but we definitely could go lower as the macro conditions do get worse. I wouldn't even be surprised to see Ethereum come back down to like this 1400 level. So we're going to talk quickly about what I've been doing lately, and what I have been doing more so, I've actually been buying a lot of Bitcoin at these prices, okay? At this like 30K to 29K range, I have been buying majority Bitcoin with my dollar cost averaging. I'm doing something like 60% Bitcoin, 20% ETH, and 20% alts with my dollar cost average. And I may even increase my Bitcoin allocation a bit more. And there are two main reasons why. So for starters, if we actually look at the Ethereum versus Bitcoin chart, you're going to notice that Ethereum has broken this uptrend, and it has broken it convincingly, okay? So let me just make this look better on TradingView. Here you go. So we can see here that this was the Bitcoin versus Ethereum chart. And for reference, if we actually look at this on a 5-year chart, you're going to see why this is a little bit more concerning. You can see here that we were in this uptrend really since about May of 2021. We kept getting rejected here at this level, and now we have convincingly broken below it. And I actually do expect to see a lot more downside for ETH. So guys, remember, this is the ETH versus Bitcoin chart. This is not Ethereum versus the US dollar. It is ETH versus Bitcoin. We have broken the uptrend. I would not be surprised to see a move like this in the coming months before we actually do potentially go ahead and reverse higher. And if Ethereum is failing against Bitcoin, then you can be certain that alts are going down against Ethereum. So what this really does is it begs the question of, if alts are going to underperform Ethereum, why not buy Ethereum? And if Ethereum is going to underperform Bitcoin, then why not buy Bitcoin? Now, don't get me wrong, I've still been buying a ton of Ethereum and alts, okay? Like Ethereum at 1700, I love me some Ethereum. HBAR at 8 cents, 9 cents, I love me some HBAR at that level. XRP, I mean, alts are just such a good deal at this point that I cannot help but buy just a little bit. But as we are entering a bear market, I would expect Ether to continue to actually underperform Bitcoin in the coming months, and that is why we have been loading up a lot more on Bitcoin. We can also take a look at the Bitcoin dominance here, which did bottom out in a very local zone here at that like 39.5% level of Bitcoin dominance, and I actually would not be surprised in the coming months if we just shoot right through this level of resistance at about 47% and actually make our way all the way back to like 58% Bitcoin dominance, and this is where we have topped out in the past, but I would definitely be looking for Bitcoin dominance to actually come back to this like 58 to 60% level. So that is why we have been buying more Bitcoin as of recently. I am still loading up on alts, but for starters, I think that the risk reward for Bitcoin just becomes a lot nicer here at this 30,000 level. If it does go down more to 25K to 20K, we are prepared to buy a more substantial amount on the dip, and we are still buying Ethereum and we are still buying altcoins, but just not as much because I mean, listen, if you guys have not been in a bear market before and you think these altcoins are cheap right now, they are not cheap yet. They could get a lot cheaper, and I hate to say it. I know I'm going to get some slack in the comments. I am not being a Debbie Downer. I'm just trying to be realistic here. These altcoins can easily go down another 50% if we are truly going to be in a prolonged bear market. So that is a strategy I have been deploying. And now let's go ahead and actually talk about this Cronos joining the top 3 blockchains. So I did see a couple of people tweeting about it. I did get a couple of really excited private messages saying like, hey, did you see Cronos hit the top 3 in blockchains? And I had to go and check this out right away because I did not know what was going on. But first of all, before we actually get into, showing you what exactly happened here, I just want to thank Fact Crow here, which is a hilarious name, but he did actually provide some of the images that I will be using in this video. So thank you, my man. And now I'm going to explain to you guys exactly what happened. So basically, overnight, a new DEX on the Cronos chain was launched, and it was called Ducky DeFi. They do have their own token called DEG, and what you can see here on Ducky DeFi is that they are actually a pretty built-out platform for something that did just launch. They already do have their exchange here. They also have their liquidity swap. They have farms right here, so you can earn yourself some juicy APR, and they also have pools, and then you can also check out their documents down here, their NFT platform, so definitely some really interesting things. However, this is the reason that the Cronos chain did shoot up in total value locked. As you can see, DeFi Llama had Ducky DeFi here sitting at 5.43 billion in total value locked, and that would basically account for like over 2/3 of the total value locked on Cronos. Now, is this legit? Is this the case? Did it actually pump Cronos into 3rd place and shoot the total value locked up from 1.7 billion up to 7.08 billion? And the simple answer is no, guys. I'm sorry. This was a false alarm, okay? And if we actually take a look here at the Cronos chain on DeFi Llama once again, and if we refresh, it would appear that DeFi Llama did fix their initial error. It was just a glitch on their end. Now, the way that you guys can actually double check to confirm whether or not these statistics are correct is you can just go over to the DeFi pools themselves and check out what exactly they have in total value locked. So we can see here now that DeFi Llama has actually corrected itself, and it has Ducky DeFi sitting at 235.8K in total value locked. And if we go ahead and check out Ducky DeFi's homepage, there should always be a section that shows you the amount of total value locked. If there is not this section on a DEX, that is a huge red flag. And what we can see here is they're actually sitting at 421,000 in total value locked. So DeFi Llama is still off here by about 200K. So this is how you can basically double check and confirm for yourselves if the total value locked is legit or if it is a glitch. And this is really important to actually have a true understanding of the liquidity on certain DEXs as well as the total value locked on your favorite blockchains, which in our case is the Cronos chain. This means that it was unfortunately nothing more than a glitch. Cronos is still in 7th place in terms of all chains, which I mean, once again, for something that has been out for under 7 months, that is mega impressive. And it is still happily sitting in 5th place here across all EVM chains. So definitely still very promising growth for CRO, even though it is not in the top 3. But I would not be surprised to look back on in the future and see it in the top 3, but actually legitimately in the top 3 and not through a glitch. And I mean, we can see here that it is still unchanged. VVS Finance is in 1st place with 839 million in total value locked. Tectonic is now in 2nd with 321 mil, and Finance has fallen down to 3rd place with 308 mil. And I'm actually really considering doing an update for you guys on MMF, as this thing is just absolutely cratered from being the biggest DEX on the Cronos chain to moving down to 3rd place. But you can see here that at the beginning, at even mid-April, we were at 1.3 billion in total value locked, and now we are all the way down to 308 million. And there are a couple of reasons why, besides the overall market conditions, and obviously as Finance is an important DEX to the Cronos chain, I do think it is important to have an understanding of what exactly has happened to it and why it is crashing so much. So if you guys would like to see an updated video on Finance, let me know in the comments down below. I hope you did enjoy this surprise double upload, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Peace out for now.